Welcome to Grit, the Real Estate Growth Mindset podcast, hosted by Brian Charlesworth, founder of Sisu. Sisu provides growth automation software for real estate. You'll hear stories from real estate thought and technology leaders, team owners, and brokers on how they grew their business in a rapidly changing industry. You'll learn how to transform your brokerage and teams into a high-performing and analytics-driven business so you have a new, durable, competitive advantage against disruption in your market. So let's get right into it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grit Podcast. I'm Brian Charlesworth. I'm the founder of Sisu and your host of the show. And, we are in this market of challenging times right now. Interest rates are higher than they've been, at least in the last 5 years, even though I still remember refining at 6% not that long ago. However, we're up in 7.5% now. So anyway, super excited to continue to bring team leaders onto this show to share their experience of what's going on in this market. And obviously, I have super strong opinions of what's going on in this market. So anyway, today I have Ieasha Larkpor on with us, and she runs Thunder Team Realty out of Oklahoma City. How's it going, Ieasha?
It's going great.
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Grateful to have you here. So for those of you who have called Ieasha Ieasha, her name is Ieasha. So just know that now so you can make the correction today. So Ieasha, tell us, let's just get started by a little bit of your background. It sounds like you come from a military family.
Yes.
And
both of my parents.
Share with us how you got into real estate.
Okay. Well, yes, both of my parents were in the military. They were both Army branch. So as you can imagine, and also how I resonate with other military brats, the folding of the mattress and certain rules that you adopt as a kid that probably do carry on into your adulthood. But yes, we moved around a lot. We lived in Germany and Hawaii as a kid. So I learned early on just, how to adapt, I guess.
So where does the term military, you called yourself a military brat, and I've heard that many times. Where does that term come from? What does that mean?
I actually don't know. I think the kids of military family, like adult parents, are just called military brats. I don't know. It's a term that only military kids that have military parents know for sure.
I mean, there has to be a reason for that. If you are listening to this, watching this, Google that, put it in the comments, give us an answer. We want to know what military brat means.
Like, where is that derived?
Yes. Where did that derive? And, we'll cue Ieasha in on that and me. So please help us out with that one.
Somebody.
So you grew up moving around Germany, Hawaii. What was your favorite place you lived?
Oklahoma.
Okay. So that's why you're still in Oklahoma City.
Right. We are still here. It's been my favorite place.
Cool. How long did you live in Germany?
So I lived in Germany for 4 years as a adolescent. We were there when the Berlin Wall came down.
I was there when the Berlin Wall came down.
You were?
Yes.
We were in Wurzburg.
So do you speak German?
No, I know a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay. I was not too far. I was in Wattwil back then.
Okay.
Which is right on the Bodensee. Anyway.
What brought you to Germany, though?
I spent time in Germany and Switzerland and loved it over there. So,
How did you end up there?
So I actually served a mission over there. So that's how I got over there. And I try to go back to Switzerland at least every couple of years if I can help it. So
like missionary.
We were over there last year. Yeah.
That's awesome. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. So anyway, absolutely fell in love with it. Switzerland is like my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
And then you were in Hawaii, and Oklahoma City ended up being the place that you came to make your home. So congratulations on that.
Yep.
So how did you get into real estate?
So when I was young, my parents were looking for a home. And the realtor, she had it all together. She had a cute Mercedes. She had on a bright red suit. She looked like she was really enjoying herself. And as a kid, I read a lot. I was an avid reader as a kid, and I still do. But I don't know, this lady, she just sparked my interest in it. And I was like, I wonder what they do. And, once I graduated from like the Babysitters Club and the Goosebumps books, I just started reading on real estate, and it just piqued my interest from there, really. My parents did eventually find a house. I was quite sad, but I almost I was a little local market expert and 12 years old. And I don't know, it just kind of stuck. I like to dress up. I like to be outside. Every day is different. It just resonated with my personality, really.
Okay. So you like to dress up, you like to drive fancy cars. And so you said, I'm going to be in real estate.
Right. It's like perfect.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. So how long ago did you get started in real estate?
So I was licensed in 2009.
Okay.
I was a leasing agent before that for about a year or two at a fairly large apartment complex, but I did oil and gas prior to that. So when I called to the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission, they told me that I had to be 21 to get a license. And so I just kind of went to college and, did a few things that I could that was similar to real estate. Then I found out that you could have done it at 18. So that actually prolonged me from getting my license. But yeah.
So you got licensed when you were 21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jumped into the business at 21 in 2009. And my recollection of 2009, which I believe I'm correct, 2008 was the crash.
Yes.
2009 was probably a very difficult time to get into real estate.
It was very difficult. Yes.
So
there were agents packing up and leaving the day I was coming in. I'm a newly excited, having not went behind the ear realtor. And, I just been licensed. I'm ready to sell some houses. And there were 15 and 10-year and 5-year career-long realtors like, I'm leaving. Like, you're coming in. You're the only recruit we've gotten like in a long time. Are you sure? It was a lot of doubt about what was going on, that real estate wasn't fun anymore. There weren't any deals around. And I really think that the year that I came in was actually a blessing to my career, because I got a chance to really learn the foundation of having a real estate business. Like, okay, well, what do you do to get business? It wasn't like, oh, I got a business card and I passed the real estate test on Facebook and I've got clients. You really had to hustle. And even then, really in 2009, Facebook wasn't hot then. So
yeah,
didn't have
but even in today's market, the market shifted. And I think we're back into a similar market today, where you have to put in the grit and the effort to drive sales. So I was at an event this last weekend down in Las Vegas, and Sky gave an amazing presentation just talking about the market and where it's at and interest rates and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things he shared was a slide, and he opened up his presentation with this slide. There was something about it talked about, is now a time I should get out of the market? And when he opened up the presentation, I thought he was talking about today, right? I mean, I think a lot of people are asking that question, is now a time when I should get out of the market? There's been a massive exit of agents over the last 12 months. So I think a lot of people are asking that question today. Is now a time I should get out of the market? Well, at the end of the presentation, he actually shared the date that slide was built, and that was in 2014.
Oh.
So he was asking the question, should I get out of the market back in 2014? And one of the things he shared was, the cool thing is, a lot of people did get out of the market in 08 and 09, and then a lot of people got out in 14 as well, because it was on a little dip again. And so anyway, what he shared was that if you got out of the market, then you got out. But the next 8 years after that have been the biggest run in real estate that real estate has ever had. And interestingly enough, he's actually projecting that in the next 2 years, we're going to be back in that market of this again, as soon as interest rates start to decline, which he thinks will be in the next 6 to 9 months. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting information that I wanted to share with everybody and with you, because you came into this market in 2009, which I think was a very, very similar time to today.
Yes, I think
so. What did you do back then at 21 years old to actually survive in a market that people who had been in the market for a long time were leaving?
Oh my God, what didn't I do? I door knocked consistently. I had flyers with me at apartment complexes. I had a list of people that I was calling every day. I was texting every day. I was doing things to market myself, like passing. I had a thing of candy that I took to the schools and left in the teacher's break room with my business information on it. I had all kinds of promotional items that I did. I mean, I advertised on realtor.com. We built spiffy websites back then. I did client interviews. I did open houses. I did housewarming parties. I mean, you name it. I was trying to do it. Now after a while, after you try everything as a new agent, then you kind of niche down to the things that you like,
Yeah.
So I did everything in the beginning to figure out, okay, what's going to be, where I'm consistent. And then I did that.
I love that. And here you are, I don't know, how many years is that? 14 years,
yeah.
14 years later.
Yep.
And still in the industry. And so I want to point this out to all you agents listening to this, because I think most agents in today's world, honestly, I hate to say it, but you've gotten lazy.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to do the work. You're not willing to follow up. You're not willing to do the open houses. You're not willing to have the grit. You're not willing to do all these things that Ieasha was doing back in 2009. And so what I challenge each of you to do is find those at least 4 things that are going to be the 4 key pillars or the 4 legs to your stool to really drive leads into your business, and focus on those and make those work. And you have to go all in today. You can't sit back and be lazy, or you won't be in this business in 2 years. If you can give it the grit and go all in and make your calls and do what you need to do today, make at least 20 conversations a day, do an open house every week. If you can do these things that are just the basic things, but it takes work, it takes grit, you have to follow up with your customers.
Yep.
If you can do these things, or even your potential customers, you have to follow up with. And if you don't do those, you won't be here in 2 years. If you do those, you'll be here in 2 years, and you'll get to enjoy that wave as the tide starts to rise again.
Yep.
So, okay. So congratulations on still being here today.
Right.
You are building a team now. How many agents do you have? Tell us about your team.
Okay, so I actually am broker owner. So my brand, Thunder Team Realty, is a local boutique brokerage here in Oklahoma City. We operate one of 2 ways. So we have an independent side of our brokerage, just like any brokerage. Agents have a split, and they source and find their own clients, and we're their broker. And then I have a team inside of my brokerage. My team consists of 3 people that are in the field. They essentially service my buyers and seller clients to take, a lot of that work off of me. And then I am still I sell also as a broker owner. But my agents that are in the field, they are supported by 3 people that I have on staff. So we do property management in my firm also, but most of the properties are owned by Thunder Team Realty.
Okay. And how many agents do you have in the brokerage that are not on the team?
9.
9. Okay. So total of 13 agents, including yourself. You do some specialty things, obviously, as you just shared. Are you doing anything different today than you were a year ago?
Yes, we are fine-tuning our systems and processes. We are trying to do more specialized marketing campaigns to really connect with our sphere of influences and our past clients, since most of our business comes from repeat business. And we're saying, okay, whose job is it to do this, every day for every client, or, whenever it happens. But we're actually adding a lot of the things that we do inside of our Sisu to help set reminders for transaction coordinators and things like that.
Okay, I did see you're on Sisu. You use our transaction management, you use our goal setting, our commission management. So you're basically using the whole platform of Sisu. Like, other than, I don't know if you're using the client portal or not. Are you using the client portal?
Yes.
You use the client portal as well. So you're providing a better experience to your clients so they can see that road to close. So anyway, congratulations on that, because what I've seen is when I built Sisu was built for a team of 5 agents, which just happened to be my wife's, which are now, she's up to 91 agents. And rather than doing 120 transactions a year, pacing to do over, around 900 transactions this year. So anyway, I'm a firm believer that to survive, especially to thrive, but I believe even to survive in today's market, you absolutely have to have great systems in place. You need to eliminate all your duplicate entry. You need to stop using spreadsheets. You need to make real-time business decisions. And so it sounds like you're on that path, Ieasha. And so, where do you want to be? I think one of the things people always ask me, so what does Sisu do for a team leader? And my opinion is it turns you into a better leader. It allows you to manage your sales team or your sales leader and your ops leader if you make the change to hire those people, and allows you to work on your business instead of in your business. So if you think about where you want to be in 5 years from now, what are your goals in real estate? Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Where is it you want to be in real estate?
Okay, so I wouldn't mind growing the team, adding more people to the team under Thunder Team Realty. That way we can have a larger team that, can bring in more business. We definitely want to continue to grow. We're continue to grow in transaction count and people. I wouldn't mind also maybe breaking into appraisals. I know that it's a lengthy process here in Oklahoma to get certified. So I'm thinking maybe a 5-year plan is that we'll have leasing, retail sales and appraisals. So I think that we'll be there and grow until we sell.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've seen, and I don't know, I'm just bringing this out to the market. You talked about appraisals, and one of the things that I'm asking and curious about is, will appraisers still actually even be in the market in, call it 2 years from now?
Yeah.
The reason I say that, so Sisu has started opening, and we haven't really announced this yet, but we have several teams that have started mortgage companies with us. We're doing title companies, we're doing insurance companies. We will probably have at least a dozen teams up live where we do JV insurance companies here over the next month or two. So one of the things we've done is we're a mortgage broker. We work with UWM, and a good friend of mine shared with me about a year ago that UWM doesn't really, he's owned a mortgage business here in Utah for years and a super, successful mortgage business. One of the things he enlightened me on is that UWM has all the information on every home in the country, which means they really don't need an appraiser. They already have probably more accurate data than most appraisers are going to get.
And it would be a streamlined process too.
Yeah, and appraisers
they can use AI to do it for them. So
yeah, and anyone in real estate knows that appraisers are usually the holdup to getting your deal closed. It's either the inspector and negotiating those terms, the appraiser, who sometimes just takes their time getting out there, or doesn't know how to appraise it. Or maybe sometimes it takes a while to get back. Well, the appraisal is usually what the holdup is. Loan, right?
It is,
So anyway, I think UWM's thought is, number one, if we eliminate the appraiser, not only will it make this data more accurate because we have more accurate data, but also it'll shorten the time frame of being able to go from contract to closing.
If you've been enjoying Grit, please help us continue to grow the channel by leaving a 5-star review and sharing it with a friend. Now back to Grit.
You developed something called real estate cue cards.
Yes.
Please tell us more about these.
So I'm hoping this will be, eventually my out of real estate. I've been around, I've been selling, I love it. My team takes care of most of client-facing things. So I came up with this solution for helping new agents kind of fast forward themselves into at least sounding like a professional. So I came up with real estate cue cards, and I'm going to show you a picture. I'm in the development stages still, though. So these are pretty much, it's going to be a deck of cards, and they are going to have an objection on one side. So on the objection, it would look something like this. So will you reduce your commission, right? That's an objection that we get all the time. If you're selling on any level of real estate, somebody's going to ask you to reduce their commission or give them a discount. So
why should I pay you? And come February, this is going to be even a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Because
the buyer brokers are changing.
More than likely, buyers agents are going to have to get the buyers to pay their commission instead of the sellers paying their commission. So so it's very important that we sharpen our skills, especially as buyer's agents.
Most definitely. It's going to be
more. If you are a buyer's agent, it might be a great time to become a listing agent.
Right.
So anyway, so that question comes up. What's on the other side of the card?
So in my 15 years of experience being in real estate, I've kind of fine-tuned some of those things to say that are clever, or that there's a standard that really puts the client at ease, or at least will understand where you're coming from. Just objection handlers, pretty much. You know how you had cue cards as a kid, those flashcards with math on it, and you learned your math by doing the flashcards. So this is pretty much along the same line. So this is what we wrote for the objection handler for that. So you want to say, I understand you're looking for ways to net more money. Am I correct? right? Because
that's
obviously
right.
someone's asking you for commission, and then it says yes. And then here's the thing that you could say. You would say, generally, the commission earned pays for, and I put insert what you pay for. So I would say, the commission you earn pays for my signs, my log boxes, my access to MLS, the marketing that I do to push your home to a qualified buyer, and negotiating on your behalf. If you hired an agent to negotiate your money and they couldn't negotiate their own fees, I'd be a bit afraid to use them, wouldn't you?
Okay, so these are real estate flashcards.
Yes.
Helping people with their scripts, which is great. Every agent needs help with their scripts.
Every agent.
The best of the best of the best agents that I know, who some of these guys sell over 100 homes a year, they do script and role play every day.
Every day.
So this is just a way to make script and role play easier for all those agents out there, and to give you flashcards so that you can even do this when you're on your own, sitting in your car between appointments, whatever it is you're doing. So this is something you're planning on rolling out, and good for you. Congratulations on that. When do you think the rollout is? I'm
actually expecting November 1 to be a rollout.
Okay. So I have a challenge for you, Ieasha. Okay. And this is my challenge.
Okay.
A lot of times we think, okay, I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to go do this. Well, you have a real estate team that you've started growing. Today you have, roughly 5 agents. If you would double down on recruiting agents today, what that would allow you to do is hire a sales leader and an ops leader. And you have Sisu, so you have systems in place that will allow you to spend 1 hour a day working with and holding your sales leader and ops leader accountable, which will allow you to continue to build and grow a real estate team. And I can say this because my wife has all these systems in place now that she has Sisu as well. And she has a sales leader and an ops leader. And it's allowed her to step outside of the business, meaning she works on her business instead of in her business, because she has all the systems to hold these people accountable and to know what's going on within that business. So why not keep your real estate business, have it fund some of this stuff that you have going on here, and have it continue to fund your future? Because selling a real estate business is not something that's worth a lot of money.
It's not.
But a real estate business can certainly be a cash cow that you can have for decades to come. If you now have the right systems in place, why not get the right who's in place? Who are the people that you need to bring in to allow you to work on your business instead of in your business, and to allow you to scale your business to that next level, which I think is one of the most important things to do. So
most definitely.
That's a challenge I have for you. How do you feel about that challenge?
I'm going to take that challenge. I'm absolutely going to take that. I actually have one place on my LinkedIn that I'm looking for a recruiter, that I'm looking to hire a recruiter. That's the only place I've posted it. And actually my workman coach challenged me already to put something up on a Zip Recruiter or Wise Hire to hire a recruiter, because it's hard for me to sell me. I feel like it would be easier for someone else to sell the brand other than me. And then I can train them when they come, so I'm going to accept that challenge.
Okay, great. I know a lot of teams that I am close with use Indeed to do their recruiting, whether it be agents or, other people in the business. So wherever you get this recruiter from, I would definitely recommend you use Indeed to have them do their recruiting efforts.
Okay.
Great.
That's wonderful.
Will you report back in 6 months and let me know how this is going? I want to know how your team is doing, and I also want to know how your cue cards are doing.
Okay, cool.
So what is your plan to take these cue cards to market, back to the cue cards or flashcards? Let's call them the real estate flashcards.
Okay, cool. So I have a mock-up being drafted. My plan is to do drop shipping on them. So I have a link on all of my social media, and I was going to drop it there for ordering. And what would happen is they would go through a Shopify store and place the order, and then the card company will drop ship the card to the customer. Now, I have a virtual assistant that's going to help me kind of manage customer service things, but I'm hoping that maybe I'll just get a few flashcards here on my own to sell maybe outside of my market. And then I plan to maybe run a bunch of Facebook, Instagram ads to pick up people that aren't already followers, post in real estate groups, when things like this come out, maybe people say, you know what, where are those flashcards? I wouldn't mind buying a few,
Yeah. when will people be able to order these? First, I have several questions for you. So when will people be able to order
I've actually been working on this for several months now. So I'm hoping November 1. This is the first draft of the mock-up, or actually one of the mock-ups that I approved. I have all the cards are going to be different on the face front, but the drop shipper is ready to go and the Shopify store should be complete in like a week or two. So I'm hoping November 1.
So November 1 is 3 weeks away. So where do people go to order these on November 1st?
Okay, so on November 1st, then you will have to go to my link on my social media page to order from there. So all of our marketing is still going to draw back to the same link. So it's a Shopify store. So you can find me. All of my social medias are the same. It is Thunder Realty _CEO. That's it.
Thunder Realty _CEO. Is that like your Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, everything.
So if I go to any of those, Thunder Realty _CEO, you're going to have a link that will allow me to go in and order these flashcards. Okay, cool. So you're going to do two things. You're going to report how did we do on the team in 6 months, and how are we doing on these flashcards in 6 months, right?
Okay, cool. Yep.
Okay.
So I need to find a recruiter.
I have another question for you. Like, one of the things I've seen that's helped Sisu grow is the fact that it was built for my wife's team, and her team has been doubling almost every year since they got on Sisu. So how do I think
we did?
You could take advantage of proving out these flashcards to show results with your team?
Wait, how could I do what?
So maybe I'll just, instead of asking you the question, maybe I'll just give you my idea.
Okay.
So my thought here is that if you get your team members using these flashcards at an extremely high level, and they have extremely good scripting processes in place.
Oh, they already do.
So they're going to sell more homes on average than your typical realtor. So if I look at typical real estate, people in real estate, 4 homes a year. If I look at typical
Thunder Realty
team-based agents, they're selling anywhere from 10 to 20 homes a year on average. And in some cases more than that. But if you're recruiting at a high level, it's probably not more than that. But if you, some teams may have fewer agents that are just power agents selling maybe 24 homes a year on average. But most teams, I would say, are selling between 10 and 20. And it's because the teams that are recruiting the most, it takes time to bring these brand new people into production to bring that average up. So anyway, but I guess my thought here is one of the best ways to market this product is to show the results and the outcomes of your agents in particular.
Okay, cool. Because most of the scripts are in a book, and when they come on, we train them on all of that. And when we have our morning huddle, we go over stuff, we role play. So yeah, they know. But yeah, I could, yeah.
Okay, because what is the one thing everyone is looking for that gets into real estate? What's your answer to that?
Is it leads?
Well, the sad thing is you're probably right. It probably is leads.
Okay.
But I would hope that it would be results.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I get into real estate, I'm here to make money. Yeah. I would hope. A lot of people get into real estate because they think it's fun to go see homes or whatever. And you're in for the wrong reason. You've got to want to make money. So anyway, if you know your scripts and if you're willing to make the calls, you will make money.
Absolutely.
We know that. So
we know that.
So anyway, those days of free leads, yes, they are still here.
Yes.
But even
diminishing quickly.
Well, even with free leads, like you need to follow up. It's not like it was 2 years ago where a lead comes in and the next day they're under contract.
Well, nope.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore, right? Okay, well, Ieasha, it's been fun getting to know you. Tell me on a personal level, like where's your favorite place that you like to vacation?
Favorite place I like to vacation is my birth state, Hawaii.
Okay, you were born in Hawaii.
I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Yep. Okay,
very cool.
Yep.
So how often do you go to Hawaii?
I've been back probably like 3 or 4 times now. So maybe every 4 or 5 years.
Great. And what's your favorite thing to do when you're not selling real estate today?
I like to read. I like to spend time with my family.
And you have kids?
I do. I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys, 17 and 11, and I have a 1-year-old daughter.
Okay. Very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So having been in the industry as long as you have, like what would be that single piece of advice you would leave for agents in the industry who are doing everything they can to survive today?
I would say get control of your schedule. Make sure that you time block every day that you plan to work, And I would say when you think that nothing is working or you are feeling like giving up, you need to remember that that is when your discipline needs to kick in. So you need to just keep going, keep doing what you were doing. And eventually, things will start to turn for you. So be sure to be sharp on your discipline when everything else is weak.
I love it. It's great advice. So thanks everybody for joining us on this week's show of the Grit podcast. We've been here with Ieasha from Thunder Team Realty. Remember, if you want to check out and get those flashcards for your agents, she'll have those hopefully for sale in a week, but if not, in a few weeks. Feel free to go follow her, make that happen. And then we look forward to joining you. I've got some great episodes of Grit coming up, so make sure and stay tuned. We've got some more great guests coming on the show. So we'll catch you all on next week's episode of the Grit Podcast. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast. If you have an interest in a free 7-day trial of Sisu, go to sisu.co, sisu.co. Make sure that you use the coupon code GRIT, that's GRIT, to waive all your setup fees and receive a 10% discount on your subscription. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast and want to subscribe, search GRIT, the real estate growth mindset on iTunes, Spotify, or Podbean. And with that, we'll catch you next time. Take care.